I know of the site on the internet, Babylon Bee on Twitter. It is a satirical site that often makes you laugh. Not today. It is attempting to be satirical, and some people may see humor in one of its latest posts. I find its latest post to be 100% truthful, and that post is 3 suspects are still at large in the murder of Laken Riley. And there are pictures of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Alejandro Mayorkas. That is absolutely true. And they, Mayorkas, Biden, and Harris, are lucky that their office insulates them from the fact that they were accessories to this crime that murdered a beautiful young woman, someone who wanted to give her life to the nursing profession. Her murderer was sentenced to life in prison yesterday, and I've heard some commentators nationally say that justice was served. No, justice was not served. Jose Ibarra should die for his crime. He stalked her. He attempted to rape her. She fought back for 18 minutes, and he smashed her head with a rock. And then he tried to pin it on his brother. So this happens one day in advance of a headline that just came across my screen. The Illinois Supreme Court has overturned the conviction of actor Jussie Smollett. You will remember Jussie Smollett as the guy who staged a fake hate crime to boost his career as a bad actor. He said that in Chicago, Illinois, as we all know, a bastion of Donald Trump supporters, he was attacked on a night where the temperature was like 20 degrees below zero at 3 a.m. by 2 guys wearing MAGA hats, who then poured bleach on him and said, "This is MAGA country," and then put a rope around his neck. This was all, of course, made up, and it was all, of course, given voice by the left, Robin Roberts and others, indicative of how racist and terrible and sexist and awful America is. Except it was all made up. And so Jussie Smollett was charged, and he was convicted. 5 counts of disorderly conduct and sentenced to 150 days in jail, and he served 6 days. And then he appealed, and the Cook County prosecutor, who of course is woke and financed by George Soros, dropped the charges. And so then they went back and they charged Jussie Smollett again. And now the Illinois Supreme Court has said, can't do that. That's double jeopardy. You can't be charged twice for the same crime. So you have a guy who is clearly guilty, who gets found guilty in court, serves 6 days in jail for fomenting racial hatred across the country and taking who knows untold how many police resources. Then your woke prosecutor drops the charges so that they can't charge him again, according to the Illinois Supreme Court, because that would be in violation of double jeopardy. Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm fine with Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. I'm pretty convinced Matt Gaetz was set up by some dirtbag who has since alleged the exact same thing, sex with underage girls, against 4 other people who crossed this guy making the allegations against Matt Gaetz. This is out of control in our country. The justice system is not a justice system. Why is Laken Riley's murderer not getting the death penalty? His DNA was under her fingernails. He has scratches all over his body. Why is he not getting the death penalty? He's an illegal. How many times was Jose Ibarra in police custody before he murdered Laken Riley? How many times? Sorry, I hit a wrong button. He was detained when he came across the border in 2022. He was released. He was arrested in New York City for endangering a minor on the back of a moped, which he was probably given free by the U.S. government. And he was released again. There was no notice given to U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement of Jose Ibarra violating the law when he was in the country illegally. And so he went to some non-governmental organization or some governmental organization and got a free flight to Atlanta, where he stalked Laken Riley and murdered her. So why is he not facing the death penalty? Because the prosecutor in the Western Judicial District of Athens, Georgia, her name is Deborah Gonzalez. You can find her picture online, smiling broadly in front of a pride flag, celebrating one of the 5,000 transgender days of remembrance that we have in this country every year. She decided that, well, that would be just too harsh to try Jose Ibarra for what he did and mete out the same punishment that he meted out to Laken Riley, who was completely and totally innocent. Here is Deborah Gonzalez's justification. Our utmost duty, she said, is to ensure that justice is served and that the victim's family is an integral part of the deliberation process. We understand that there will be those outside this office who disagree with our decision and seek to exploit this case for political gain. However, the integrity of our judicial process and the pursuit of justice must always transcend political considerations. She spouted that nonsense when Jose Ibarra went on trial. And then she had to run for re-election. And she got swamped, thumped, thoroughly embarrassed and beaten by her Republican challenger on November the 5th. Now, can this be addressed on the back end? I doubt it. I doubt it. It'd probably be the same utter nonsense that you'd be trying Laken Riley, or you'd be trying Jose Ibarra a second time for the murder of Laken Riley. We were about to have Donald Trump engaged with the help of Tom Homan and Kristi Noem as his Homeland Security Director, and Stephen Miller providing who knows what, just more backbone to the effort to deport illegals from this country. You're about to have the left marshal its forces to protest and paint all kinds of scenarios as to why it is cruel punishment to deport people who are in this country illegally. When you see those protests, you need to see the face of Laken Riley. You need to see the face of Ruby Garcia, the face of Rachel Morin, the face of Jocelyn Nungaray, a 12-year-old girl in Houston who was raped and brutally murdered and thrown in a drainage ditch by two illegals, for which Kamala Harris refused to apologize to the Nungaray family when given the chance by Bret Baier. I want you to see their faces. And I want you to remember what 3 members of Laken Riley's family had to say about her yesterday in court prior to sentencing.
Of 2024, our family and friends were given a life sentence without a chance of parole.
Jose Antonio Ibarra has completely and utterly ruined my life, and I can only hope and pray that he receives a sentence that ruins his.
The person who brought joy to every room she entered, and now that light has been extinguished forever.
That's Laken Riley's dad at the end, and he had a lot more to say, and I want you to hear exactly what he had to say about his beautiful daughter.
I'm so proud of Laken and the beautiful person she was. And while I could stand here and try to tell the world the things that made her such a wonderful person, as well as the many things we have all been robbed and deprived of, I think one of her last journal entries dated 12/17/23 says it best. So here we go. To my future husband. As silly as I feel writing this, my old small group leader once recommended it, so here I am. To my future husband, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you. I'm working every day to become the best wife I can be. Been working through my current relationships to best prepare me for ours and our kids one day. I'm focusing on God and what He defines as a faithful Christian life, and so that I can best embody those characteristics. I pray that you know that it is with my full faith and trust in God that I know this relationship has been handcrafted by Him. I pray that we continue to glorify the Lord, prioritize Him in every aspect of our lives, and raise our family, our future family, to be God-fearing Christians as well.
I know the people on the left will find that funny, that a girl would pray for her future husband who she hasn't met. Those of you who are people of authentic faith know that this is very common in the Christian community. I have 3 daughters. We're doing that for them now. They will never understand our pain until that pain is brought to bear on them. And that's what needs to happen at the Department of Justice.
This afternoon, windy and cold, some snow at times. Could see about an inch, high 34. Clouds and breezy, snow shower tonight, low 32. And then clouds and breezy, showers tomorrow. Could mix with snow early in the day. High tomorrow at 46. On Saturday, some sun, then turning cloudy for the afternoon. High Saturday at 47. Mostly cloudy day on Sunday. The daytime high at 50. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
ProView Remodeling, Ohio's #1 choice in sunroofs, windows, doors, decks, sidings, patios, porches, basements, and bathroom remodels. Call ProView Remodeling today and get 25% off or 60 months, 0 interest. That's right, 60 months, 0 interest. Call or text 7 days a week, 614-756-3140. You win with ProView Remodeling, 614-756-3140. Check us out at ProViewRemodeling.com.
Hi, I'm Paul George with Keller Williams Greater Columbus Realty, host of the Paul George Real Estate Show, broadcasting every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 98.9 The Answer. Using over 30 years of trusted real estate agent experience in Central Ohio, I'll share invaluable insights into the ever-evolving local real estate market, provide you with current trends, and bring industry experts who will share their wisdom on the art of buying and selling homes. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. right here on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
Who are the people that serve part-time in the Ohio Army National Guard? We are your neighbors and friends. We are your sons and daughters. Our service is providing us valuable job skills, and it pays up to 100% of our tuition. We're proud to serve our state. We are your Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with the Ohio Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey folks, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at the Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PREPARE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text PREPARE to 989898. That's PREPARE to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
From Angel Studios comes Bonhoeffer, based on the powerful true story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. As the Nazis tighten their grip on Germany, Bonhoeffer joins a deadly plot to assassinate Hitler, risking his faith and fate to save millions of Jews from genocide. You were good to Ignan as our spy.
I'm ready to meet my destiny.
Bonhoeffer, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. Exclusively in theaters November 22nd. Go to angel.com/Bonhoeffer.
It is Christmas mortgage miracle time here at The Answer. Yes, for the 7th straight year, we're bringing back the Christmas mortgage miracle sweepstakes. If you would like to not have to pay your mortgage yourself or your rent yourself, then you are in luck if you are the grand prize winner. And honestly, you can't be the grand prize winner unless you enter the contest, which you can do every single day between now and December the 22nd at 9890answer.com. You can also complete optional activities to gain bonus entries. I mean, for an $18,000 first prize, that makes a lot of sense to me. It'd be worth a few extra minutes at 9890answer.com. And it's always worth a trip to 9890answer.com, because when you're not entering to win your mortgage payments or your rent payments, you could be entered to win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra at Nationwide Arena on December the 26th. We have 10 pairs of tickets to give away to see TSO. So get to 9890answer.com today and fill out those entries. The problem with our so-called justice system in this country is not limited to just Georgia, where a woke prosecutor refused to seek the death penalty against Jose Ibarra. It is not just in Illinois, where the conviction of Jussie Smollett for concocting a fake hate crime, going on TV, telling his story, escalating racial hatred throughout the country. It's not just Illinois. It's right here in Ohio. It's right here in Ohio. Nobody's forgotten the brutal 2016 Pike County murders. 8 members of a family? 7, I guess, members of the Roden family shot in different locations in the middle of the night. We're still having trials for that. So we don't have speedy trials in this country. And thanks to a visiting judge from Darke County, it does not appear that we're going to get justice in this case either, because Judge Jonathan Hine of Darke County yesterday took the death penalty off the table for Billy Wagner, who was one of the people involved in these murders. He was set to go to trial on January the 3rd. And the judge was in a big hurry to get agreements as to whether or not the case was going to be a death penalty case or not. And so he ordered the prosecution and the defense to come to an agreement prior to some artificially imposed deadline, which in the eyes of the judge was yesterday, November 20th. What is that, like 5 weeks before the trial starts? What's the big hurry, Judge? So now what he's done is, when he takes the death penalty off the table, he has messed up the prosecution's ability to get members of Billy Wagner's family to testify, including Wagner's son, Jake, to testify against his father. Because if the death penalty is hanging over your head, you might be a little bit more willing to say some things that you might not do if you're just facing life in prison. Now, this sparked quite the exchange in court yesterday between the judge and the lead prosecutor on the case, Angela Canepa. Angela Canepa asked, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you like saying there'll be no death penalty in Billy Wagner's case?" And the judge said, "Well, the clock ran out. We're not going to pussyfoot around without assurances." Typically in court, the judge is the one wearing the robe. He's the one who's got the big gavel in his hand. He's the one who can find you in contempt. Typically, when you get smacked down like that, even though it's a stupid ruling, you're limited as a prosecutor in what you can come back with. Not Angela Canepa. She said this: "I think the court has demonstrated complete bias in this case." To which the judge retorted, "Of course you would say that. I don't have any bias, no." She responds, "Why are you trying to sabotage this case, Your Honor?" "I'm not," said the judge. "No, yes, you absolutely are," she responded. And then later, there was another exchange where she said to the judge, "You think this is funny? There were 8 people murdered in the middle of the night." To which the judge said, "How about we agree? You've been telling me for months to look for something that may not ever happen." So this is ridiculous. These family members were savagely, brutally murdered in the middle of the night. And we have a death penalty in the state of Ohio. But you know why we don't kill anybody in the state of Ohio? Because we're worried about it not being humane enough. That they might suffer a little bit. As if their victims have not suffered. As if they pay any attention when they murder somebody and earn the death penalty. As if that's a concern at all in their mind. Okay, this is just, again, Matt Gaetz, I don't know that I can put any veracity in the charges against him. I don't know that I will believe it even when, and it's a matter of when, the report on him is released, given to someone and released. It's going to look terrible. One of the details I heard yesterday on this case is that Gaetz, who supposedly is accused of having sex with a 17-year-old girl, given to him by the guy who's accusing him and has used sex with underage girls as accusations. Allegations are not proof that something happened. One of the things I heard yesterday was when Gaetz found out she was 17, he was like, I can't see you anymore until you're 18. Okay, so to me, he was set up. Certainly looks like the possibility, the plausibility, it was set up. And how many people who have allegiance to Donald Trump have been set up? Look, it doesn't give me any real pleasure to have to embrace people who have such horrendous morality as this. But again, if you're going to cut your way through the jungle, you need a machete to do it. And if you are going to venture into the Department of Justice, then maybe the only way to clean it up is to have a savage wielding that machete. Now, I want to thank Columbus Police for yesterday taking a very dangerous person off the street, a 16-year-old. They're not going to give us his name because he's a minor and we got to respect him, even though he shot and killed, most likely, a 39-year-old hardworking man the night before. The man saw this 16-year-old breaking into his work van and went out to stop him, and the kid just turned his rifle on him and shot him and killed him. Yesterday, Columbus Police, who had worked tirelessly on this case for 16 hours since it happened, tracked down the 16-year-old via his vehicle that he fled the scene from the night before, followed him, and then attempted to stop him while he was riding in a car just inside 270, kind of Westerville-ish, right there where 270 turns toward the airport and just before you get to 161. So the 16-year-old gets out of the car carrying the rifle that he presumably shot this 39-year-old victim dead with, and police shot the 16-year-old, but he didn't die. He's in the hospital right now. This all sounds familiar. It should, because in May of 2022, another 39-year-old man, a guy named Joshua Moyer, was leaving for work at 4:20 a.m. in the morning when he saw a guy rummaging through his wife's car. He went over, tried to stop him, tried to detain him, called the cops, and while they were struggling, Joshua Moyer was shot and killed. So here we go. We got the case of the teacher in Canal Winchester who was struck trying to save her baby from a guy trying to steal her car when she went back to the door of the babysitter. Crime in Columbus never stops. Hello? Hello? Hello?
For controversial cabinet nominees, Attorney General candidate Matt Gaetz. Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, President-elect Trump's choice for ambassador to NATO. On Wall Street, stocks remain mixed. The Dow is up about 408 points, while the Nasdaq is down 29. The S&P trading 23 points higher. More details at srnnews.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn or iHeart. As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready to take the next step, Google Salem Surround Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, please join me every day, 11 to 1, for the Hooley Show. A lot of consequential issues that we have to talk about. It's a transformational time in our country, and you want to understand all the issues. That's what I hopefully help you do. Hooley Show, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday on 989theanswer.com.
Well, many of you have heard of the tragic situation involving Salem radio host Dennis Prager. He had a fall, and I wanted to give you an update on Dennis's condition, as he has, until that fall, been the host who follows me here on 989 The Answer. This is from November the 18th. It's the latest that I have. It says, our friend and Salem Radio Network host Dennis Prager continues to recover from a fall he took last week and remains off air. Progress has been slow but steady. There's still a lot of swelling and inflammation around his neck and upper spine. Until that recedes, it is hard to get a good sense of where this is all headed. Rest assured, the overall trend is positive. Patience is required. As we all know, having patience is hard, but his body needs time to heal. Thank you for your words of support, and the Salem Radio Network family encourages you to continue praying for his recovery. Dennis Prager's show is heard on over 400 stations, and he is, of course, the founder of Prager University. So continue to pray for our colleague, Dennis Prager. Well, we have a new leader, two of them actually, in the Republican side of the Ohio House and Senate. I'm not surprised that Matt Huffman, who has been the leader of the Ohio Senate, is now the leader of the Ohio House, because he was term limited out as Senate leader. And here to talk with us about that and what might be ahead in this next legislative session, and also about Donald Trump's transition to the White House, is Republican strategist Mehek Cook. You can follow Mehek on Twitter at Mehek Cook. Her name is spelled Mehekcooke, and you can find out more about her by watching her on Fox and all the other shows that she is on, but also by going to her website, Mehek Cook, with an E on the end of Cook, Mehek, welcome into the Bruce Hooley Show. And I assume you were not surprised Matt Huffman gained the leadership of the Ohio House.
Bruce, thanks so much for having me. I was not surprised. Matt Huffman is a career, not only statesman, as you saw how he navigated this, but you have continued to see so many Ohioans cheering for him because he's always valued us. He values us in terms of school choice. He values us in terms of lowering to getting rid of our income taxes. And he knows that inflation has been a heavy burden on Ohio. And he had a path forward. And every one of those legislators that helped to elect him shows that they believe in him just as much as we do.
Yeah. What, Mehek, in terms of cutting taxes, do you think Matt Huffman's agenda is and the agenda of the House might be? Because one of the things I like about his selection is that he has the support of every Republican. And as we obviously know, Jason Stevens, who was trying to hold on to his House speakership, paid the price for having more Democrats support him than Republicans support him. We got some things done with Stevens, like school choice, that I wanted expanded the payments. But I think Huffman is much more somebody who will implement the conservative agenda. And I'm just kind of wondering how that might manifest itself in tax cuts.
Well, we have to look at the previous General Assembly. While I applaud them on increasing school choice, remember, these are our tax dollars.
Yeah.
That means you as a parent and our listeners should be able to choose the school of our choice for our kids, because not every kid is built the same. We need to make sure that they are advancing, and our dollars, 100% of them should be following our children. Today, that's not the case. And I know that Matt Huffman had a stronger plan, a more robust plan than what the House put out there. So we need to advocate for school choice and put more dollars back in a parent's pocket so we can help our children succeed. And the other thing, there's no secret about this, is we have been burdened by inflation. It costs Ohio families, doesn't matter where you live, in the state of Ohio today, $983 a month more. And that's about $25,000 on average since January 21st because of the reckless spending and debt that we have. And Ohioans can't afford this any longer. We need to have our tax rates cut. They're going to be expiring soon. So on the federal level, we have great legislators that are going to help push for the President Trump's tax cuts. But on a state level, let's look at our personal income taxes. Those need to be cut down to zero. So many other states like Texas, Florida, and others have paved the path for that. It's doable. And on top of that, everybody's complaining about this, Bruce. It's our property taxes.
Yeah.
We continue to give more but receive less. That's another area where we have to be fiscally conservative. And it all starts with shrinking government. The state budget needs to shrink in terms of how much we're spending in these state agencies. The same thing on a larger scale that President Trump did when he was in office initially. Get rid of regulatory regulations that are putting a burden on businesses and start getting back to reforms that put more money, not only business pockets, but our pockets as well.
Yeah, totally agree. Mehek Cook is our guest. Mehek is an attorney. She's a political strategist on the GOP side of the aisle, and you can follow her on Twitter at Mehek Cook, MEHEKCOOKE, and her website is mehekcook.com. I also wonder, I think it's possible that we're going to have a more cohesive legislative session coming up, because Matt Huffman used to be the leader of the Senate. The guy that the Republicans chose to replace him, Rob McCauley, was one of Huffman's top guys. So to me, that's a much more seamless relationship than it was when Huffman was in the Senate and Jason Stevens was in the House. And we all know Derek Marin should have been the House Speaker, but Stevens staged a coup and got that done. So I'm really hopeful about the cohesiveness of this Ohio General Assembly going forward because of the fact that Huffman and McCauley were colleagues.
But even deeper than that is we have real Republicans that are in leadership, real Republicans that are championing the lower cost energy efficiency and making sure that Ohioans are succeeding by spending less in government and putting more in our pockets. It's not because of just Huffman and McCauley's relationship, but it's because they both champion what Republicans all over the state have asked for, which is to put us first. In the past, the General Assembly was out of lockstep because we had Democrats controlling the House. And regardless of whether we had a Republican in that speakership, we didn't really have progress because there was a lot of discourse between the inner fightings of the House. And that's unfair, as we pay to send these representatives to the state house to represent us. And all they're doing is fighting, and they're not actually passing bills that put Ohioans first. This is the first time we're actually going to have real Republican champions. That's how I've tried to explain this to other Ohioans, because everybody always says, Bruce, well, did the House have Republican majority? Yes, we did, but people were in power for the wrong reasons. This is finally going to go back to a golden era for Ohio. We have to be more competitive in job growth, economic success, and putting our kids first. And that's exactly what you're going to see under Matt Huffman and Rob McCulley's leadership.
Well, I know, Mahek, you as like I were rejoicing on November the 5th, not just that Donald Trump was elected and Bernie Moreno defeated Sherrod Brown, but also that issue 1 went down in the state. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, because your name has been mentioned as a possible replacement for J.D. Vance in the Senate. I don't know what you can say about that, but I know you're excited about a 53-47 U.S. Senate, whether you're a part of it or not.
Truly an honor to be thought of and considered, but at the end of the day, this is Governor DeWine's decision. What's important is we have people that are in Washington that are going to listen to the mandate that the American people set forth. We have to put Americans first. We need to secure our border. And most of all, we have to get back out of this economic brink of collapse that so many of us are feeling. Bernie Moreno's success is a success for Ohio and for our country, because we finally broke a track record of a 50-year politician, Sherrod Brown, that we kept paying for to go to Washington, D.C., but he failed to deliver. We've had deaths because of illegal immigrants in the state of Ohio, and Sherrod Brown turned his back. He refused to secure our border. He refused to help us with the economic devastation we were facing. And make no mistake, Bruce, Sherrod Brown's going to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Is government. All he knows is government. So we have to be aware. We have to root for Bernie. And I know Bernie's going to deliver for us.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, Sherrod Brown admitted that the other day in his interview with Politico. He said, I'm not ruling anything out. And I hope he's ruled out whether he runs for governor or whether he runs for senator. But you're never ruled out on this show, Mahek. It's always great to have you with us. Appreciate your perspective. Appreciate what you do. You guys can catch Mahek on many conservative news channels out there, local channels as well. Follow her on Twitter at Mahek Cook. And that is spelled MEHEK. COOKE, and her website is mahekcook.com. So Mahek, thanks for coming on, and thanks for fighting the good fight. And it's, as I said the other day, before the election, I was on pins and needles. Ever since, I've been on cloud 9, and I like it up here.
Me too. Thanks so much for having me, Bruce.
There you go. Mahek Cook, the Republican strategist, and she does a great job. And it's the people behind the scenes a lot of times whose names you don't know. Mahek is more a name you might know because you see her out there, because she's obviously very eloquent, very articulate. She makes her points. She'd be very good as a U.S. senator, somebody who could, and really being a senator, it requires a skill set, a part of which is the ability to speak in 30 to 45 second sound bites. Make your point, re-emphasize your point, and get out. It's almost like a radio host would make a good senator. But I don't know enough rich people who would back my campaign. But let's hope we get somebody in who's not only a great replacement for J.D. Vance, but somebody who can keep Sherrod Brown from running again, because he's likely to do it.
This afternoon, windy and cold, some snow at times. Could see about an inch, high 34. Clouds and breezy, snow shower tonight, low 32. And then clouds and breezy, showers tomorrow. Could mix with snow early in the day. High tomorrow at 46. On Saturday, some sun, then turning cloudy for the afternoon. High Saturday at 47. Mostly cloudy day on Sunday. The daytime high at 50. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com.
I'm CPA Brad Hennebert with Premier Tax CPAs, and the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial and tax planning and other major business decisions, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. We'll prepare a comprehensive tax plan to maximize your deductions and minimize the tax you pay, and present you with money-saving options you may not have ever considered. We'll update your financial position each quarter, so there are no nasty surprises at tax time. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have consultations with our clients throughout the year because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can work with you and your business throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at Premier Tax CPAs at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you of your debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call now at 800-533-6605 for a free consultation. For 17 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a Christian-owned company. Don't get stuck in the endless cycle of payments. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Christian-owned Total Financial Freedom now at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605. 800-533-6605.
When it comes to safety, don't settle for anything less than the best. At Elite Fire Services, we protect what matters most, your business and your peace of mind. Our expert team provides top-notch fire safety inspections, and we service fire extinguishers, fire sprinkler systems, backflow preventers, fire alarms, kitchen hood suppression systems, and exit lighting. Visit elitefire.org today to get a free quote and ensure your fire safety is in elite hands. Because when it comes to protection, you deserve the best. Elite Fire Services, your safety is our mission.
This holiday, give the powerful movie Lonesome Soldier to the military members on your list.
Boy has problem. He has PTSD. You stay some time here. What is this stuff?
Cadence, a ministry offering faith and hope to military families, urges you to watch Lonesome Soldier and gift it to service members you know. Go to salemnow.com.
If you are looking to redo your flooring, either before Christmas or after the first of the year, once that holiday hubbub settles down, I'd love to help you. Go to brucehooley.com and click flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Had a lovely interaction with a couple of customers just the other day, and that's par for the course. That happens every single time that a Bruce Hooley Show listener reaches out, and we discuss flooring, and we discuss other things as well, things that we are like-minded on, and the fact that we're super happy in the aftermath of the November 5th election. So if you've been shopping for flooring, keep doing it, but just make sure that you include a trip to brucehooley.com and the flooring tab in the upper right-hand corner of the page, because I don't mind competition. I'm more than happy to show you why, in terms of price, in terms of how fast the product is installed, in terms of the quality of the products installed, and the array of products that we have. I'm more than happy with that. So brucehooley.com, flooring, upper right-hand corner of the page. Let's take some time, shall we, to justifiably honor Columbus's finest. Fantastic job by relatively new officer Gloria West. Gloria pulled a guy with a broken ankle out of a burning pickup truck on November the 13th. The guy's truck crashed into a pillar on I-71 near 270. Officer West said When we came around I-71 and 270, we just saw smoke. Now, the driver had called 911 saying his truck had crashed after developing brake problems. And on the 911 call, he told the operator, "It's getting real hot in here. I can't get out. My ankle is broken. I can't get out. Get me out of here." So Officer West, upon arriving at the scene, Gloria West is her name, her body camera shows that without any concern for her personal safety, the truck is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. She ran to the truck, yanked open the driver's door. The guy with the broken ankle is wedged between, probably had like one of those extended cab pickups or maybe a club cab where there's a little bit of room behind the driver's seat. He was wedged between the front seating and the back seating. She stuck her hand in and she said, "Grab my hand." And then she said, "I pulled with everything I had." She's less than a year out of the police academy. Fantastic job. She has second-degree burns on her hand, but she said they don't really hurt. It's just some second-degree burns, and they are very small. The driver of the truck remains in fair condition at the OSU Wexner Medical Center. Kudos to WSYX Channel 6 for the excellent reporting on Officer Gloria West's heroics. And they are heroic actions. Now, also, congratulations yesterday to the CPD's Police Gang Enforcement Unit. They rounded up 16 people, some really bad people, who apparently have been making life miserable on the Far East Side for almost 20 years. Police said they know that there are still members of the gang out there. And they say, there's a quote from Sergeant Sean Gruber, Columbus Division of Police Gang Enforcement Unit. "We've laid the groundwork so if they commit one more act of violence, then they're going to be joining their friends." 191 count indictment against 16 alleged members of the Livingston and Lonsdale Bloods gang. So here's a quote from a resident to NBC4. He says, "Now we can go to the store more safely. That's the best thing." Man, some of the neighborhoods in Columbus, we're blessed. If you don't live in those neighborhoods, you're blessed. And I can't imagine. You can't go to the store. I don't worry about my personal safety. But I got to tell you, the Laken Riley thing, she's murdered by an illegal Venezuelan member of Tren de Aragua. My daughter goes to college in one of the cities. Now, she's at a small Christian college. And here's the dilemma that I have as a father. Is do I tell my daughter, "Hey, I'm watching on the news and Tren de Aragua is in one of the cities where your college is"? I don't want to scare my daughter, but I don't want my daughter to be unaware. I don't want my daughter to go out jogging alone. I'm driving to work this morning, 8 whatever, something in the morning. I see a woman, it's in Hilliard, okay, jogging. And the first thing I thought was, I hope she's safe. I hope she's safe. Because you just aren't safe anywhere in America because of Biden administration policies that have let these illegals come in and flown them wherever they want to go. And they don't track them. They don't have any idea where they are, who they are, a lot of times. More on that in a second. I want to give you a little bit more shout out to this gang enforcement unit of CPD. The 16 suspects are facing a range of charges from drug trafficking to attempted murder. They seized 56 firearms, 2 illegal Glock switches that converts a Glock pistol into an automatic handgun. Large amounts of drugs, cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine, oxycodone pills, and marijuana, and $150,000 in cash. Every person arrested was prohibited from owning a firearm due to previous felony cases. See, now this part can't be right. That part can't be right because Andrew Ginther's gun buyback program got all the illegal guns off the street, right? Right? Like 16 gang members. They got 56 firearms. Let me do the math real quick. That's like 4 a person. Okay? Andy, you told me the gun buyback program was like a ginormous success, Andy. Apparently not as successful as you thought, you big, incompetent buffoon. So back to the whole illegal immigration thing and the fact that our daughters, our granddaughters, our wives, our sisters, all of us, like you stop a guy breaking into your work van like the 39-year-old guy did yesterday, or like the 39-year-old guy did 2 years ago. Hey, what are you doing? Ba-boom, boom, boom. You're dead. So yesterday on the House floor, they're questioning Xavier Becerra, the head of HHS, Health and Human Services. Now, there's a big hubbub about, oh, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is Health and Human Services. Why, he's not a doctor. Xavier Becerra is not a doctor either. And Xavier Becerra has presided over an institution that has allowed 300,000 kids to be misplaced in the U.S., some of whom were sent to an address in Florida, which came back to a strip club, which is what Xavier Becerra was asked about yesterday.
Are you familiar that in that report, it revealed that children were pimped out by their aunt, which it turns out the aunt wasn't even related to the child, the so-called aunt. Are you familiar with that story that was in there?
There are a number of incidents that are reported in that Florida report. Some of them I can probably recall better than others. Some of them I would challenge and dispute, but that one I don't remember.
And do you remember the teenage girl that was in a house with unknown men with no private bedroom for her? Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club in Jacksonville as an address for where a child should be settled?
Congressman, as I said, I don't have the information on that Florida grand jury report in front of me. I certainly can go back and take a look at it and try to get back to you.
I try to get back to you. Yeah, what are the chances Xavier Becerra will even try to get back to him? He won't get back to him. You and I both know that. Today, headline, Immigration Customs Enforcement in Boston announced the arrest of 3 illegal alien child rapists in Massachusetts, where yesterday you heard Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston, say, we're going to fight all these deportations. And where the governor, Maura Healey, says, we're not going to cooperate. Child rapists, illegal aliens, 2 of whom charged with forcibly raping Massachusetts children, and another who was convicted of raping a child in Brazil in 2022, hiding in Massachusetts as a fugitive. Unbelievable.
Is Matt good? Is Matt good?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Ukraine has claimed that Russia launched an intercontinental ballistic missile overnight at one of its cities. But American officials said an initial U.S. assessment indicated the strike was carried out with an intermediate range ballistic missile. The Kremlin refused to comment on the strike. Also at townhall.com, the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits fell again last week, remaining near 7-month low.
The Labor Department reports jobless claim applications fell by 6,000 to 213,000 for the week of November 16. That's fewer than the 220,000 analysts had forecast. However, continuing claims went up by 36,000 to 1.91 million for the week of November 9. That was higher than expected and the most in 3 years.
Correspondent Jeremy House with that report. Well, the number of new people applying for jobless aid each week remains at historically healthy levels. Some who are receiving benefits finding it harder to land new jobs. The Dow is up 371 points, but the NASDAQ composite 83 points in the red. More at townhall.com.
This afternoon, windy and cold, some snow at times. Could see about an inch, high 34. Clouds and breezy, snow shower tonight, low 32. And then clouds and breezy, showers tomorrow. Could mix with snow early in the day. High tomorrow at 46. On Saturday, some sun, then turning cloudy for the afternoon. High Saturday at 47. Mostly cloudy day on Sunday. The daytime high at 50. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
War has played a key role in the history of the United States, from the nation's founding right down to the present. Wars made the United States independent, kept it together, increased its size, and established it as a global superpower. Hi, I'm James Early, host of the Key Battles of American History podcast. In each episode, I discuss American history through the lens of the most important battles of America's wars. To start listening now, go to parthenonpodcast.com or search Key Battles of American History on your favorite podcasting platform.
With SRN Sports, I'm Jason Blocker, starting off in Major College Basketball. 4 games Wednesday night involving ranked teams. Number 3, Gonzaga, 84. Long Beach State, 41. 8th-ranked Alabama knocked off 25 Illinois. Final was 100-87. Texas A&M at number 23, easily winning over Southern U, 71-54. And 24th-ranked Rutgers defeating Merrimack 74-63. In the NBA Wednesday night, your winners, Cleveland finally won again after losing to Boston the night before. Elsewhere, Milwaukee, Oklahoma City, and Houston all in the winner's circle. Easily winning Memphis, Golden State, and New York Knicks, also winning LA Clippers. And this is SRN Sports. With Donald Trump heading back to the White House soon, a lot of players in the NFL breaking out the Trump dance to celebrate sacks, touchdowns, and, well, just about everything else. It involves swaying one's hips slowly and swinging the arms back and forth the way Mr. Trump has long done on the campaign trail. Not quite sure just what our grandparents would think about this. They wouldn't like it, I'm sure. Major League Baseball will test robot umpires, part of a challenge system during spring training at 13 ballparks, and it could lead to regular season use of the robots in 2026. Now, the MLB has been experimenting with automated ball strike systems in the minor leagues. That's since 2019, but it's still working on the shape of the strike zone. This is SRN Sports.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
I have quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage gardening, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. I had to don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Thanks for joining us. This is hour number 2 of the Bruce Hooley Show. Glad to have you along. Thanks to those of you who joined for hour number 1 on my social media channels. You